Welcome back to JR Oil Paintings 101. We're going to try and finish this little feller up today. We've got, for those of you who hadn't maybe just popped on this one right quick, we got, this is a wet on wet technique. My name is Jeff Robinson, by the way. And this canvas started out with just liquid white on it. And then we did the clouds in the sky, then the old are the far off trees and the new trees and the old barn and the fence and some little grass. And we're going to try and finish this up. We're going to have a little road that goes from the barn out over here somewhere. It just disappears. We're going to do that first because I want to. Now we're going to do that so we can set it down into the painting, and instead of having it be on top of the painting. So we're going to take our old knife and we're going to see, we're going to have it paint, we're going to have it right here, and then we're just going to go out that way. So I'm just scrape off a little bit here, and then we'll just, don't get too, don't get too sharp of an angles. Whatever we don't like, we can cover it up. I think I can safely say that I don't like any of that right there, so just keep that off. We're gonna do some of it. We're gonna do it a different way because I don't like that way. So we're gonna take just a fan brush here, dip it into some brown, Van Dyke brown. That's all we need. And then we're going to come out with just a corner here and go this way with it. This way. It'll get there. It don't look like much yet. Remember, this is far away, so because it'll be narrower here than it is over here. So just kind of widen it as you go. And whatever we don't like, we'll cover up with grass or whatever. Alright, I know this is really straight. Looks too straight, but like I say, we'll cover some of this up with the grassy area and it won't be as straight. It'll be nice and crooked. We're going to get real dark here. There we go. There we are. That's going to be our little base coat of our pathway, roadway, whatever you want to call it. Now we'll get burnt sienna, a little bit of brown, burnt sienna, and I like to put just a little bit of yellow ochre in there. We're going to make a little highlight with a little bit of white. We're going to loosely mix these because I like a lot of variation in my highlights. I know I've said that several times, and I just keep saying it so you'll catch on. If you're like me, I need all the repetition I can get. Get your little roll of paint out on your knife, and what we're going to do is just going to graze it. Just going to graze it. I'll start back here and get to it. I don't like this old knife. I'm going to use a small end here. And we're just going to go, just graze it a little bit. We'll get there. We'll get there. Just barely touch it. Just let the paint come off the knife. You're not really touching the canvas with the knife. You're just letting the paint come off on it. And And don't worry about it, that canvas is gonna take what it wants and leave you the rest on your knife. That's all you need. I'll have just a little bit. I'm gonna switch back over to the bigger knife because now it's getting built longer here, so we're gonna just like that, just barely graze it. Just, yeah, there we go. Like that. I'm gonna have a little different tree than I had in my first painting, and this one, I'll show you probably this episode here in just a little bit. I'm gonna make one that actually feels like bark when it's dry. I'm gonna try to pull that off today. So this may take a little bit longer, but that's your basic road. And like I say, I know it don't look like much, but it will. You gotta trust me. I don't guess you have to trust me, but we'll get our big 2-inch brush again, and then we're gonna put a little heel right here where this one was, and you're gonna come into that road. You're gonna overlap that road wherever you think it needs to be. And just like that. And over here, not quite as much at first. Just kind of overlap a little bit of it. Just tapping in here. As we're going to have, just like we did back there, this is just the base coat of the grassy area here. We'll just cover it up right there. Like I say, you can just do it this way. It's a little quicker doing it this way. So we'll just do it this way. And you'll see what happens here in a minute. There's that. And we have our dark for whatever we're going to do. There we go. Now, we got our little roadway in there. And we got the dark for our, what do you call it? Well, it's like our highlights for our grassy areas here. So we're going to take our, clean up a little spot on my palette over here. I always run out of room. I got a palette that's 10 miles long, 50 miles wide. Still run out of room. That's all right. We'll figure it out. I'm going to take cad yellow, yellow ochre, Indian yellow, a little bit of red, and a little bit of liquid white. Yeah. And a little bit of phthalo green. That's what I was trying to think of. Phthalo green with just a little bit of black to dull it down here. And we're going to lighten it up just a little bit with a little bit more. There. My little rolly chair caught something it shouldn't have, so alright, there we go. Like I said before, I'm a lazy painter. I sit down to do all this. Get a little bit of yellow ochre and Indian yellow. Change the flavor just a little bit. We need to brighten it up just a little bit. see that? You can see that a little bit, can't you? It's hard for me to see because camera's on this side, painting's on this side, palette's on the other side. And then we'll just take, there we go. Just like that right there. You just tap it. Just tap it. Just tippy tapping. And we'll probably put some trees, well, we will put some trees and bushes in here as we go. And I'm here a little bit. Try not to drag your brush, because if you do, it'll look like that right there. You'll just have streaks in it, not grassy looking areas. And you can make this grass look as smooth as silk if you wanted to. All you have to do is just keep going over it with that big 2-inch brush. And it'll smooth itself out. I know this is a little repetitive, so we're just gonna keep going and we'll get through this in just a little bit. And then we'll put some trees and stuff in. But it does take a little while to do this. It's already going down, so let's just make a little gully here. We'll get that. A little hole right there. And we'll darken it up just a touch. With a little bit of green here. Looks like a little indentation there, space here. See, if you have all these colors on your brush, then you get all kinds of different varieties, flavors of grass, and it doesn't all look the same. If you don't like something, just cover it up. Or do what I did a while ago and just scrape it off and start over. That's what, like I say, that's one of the reasons I really like oil paints. There's a couple other reasons, because one I'll show you here in just a minute is you can actually make a tree that looks and feels like it has actual bark on it. And with other mediums, it's not hard to do because they dry so fast. But you can actually add texture to your painting with oils. And I really like that. So we're just going to keep adding. Keep adding this green until we're all caught up here. And change the flavor just a little bit. And if you were so inclined, you could have just, see how that looks right there? You could actually turn that into water real easy. You put your reflections and stuff in it and you'd have water. But I don't really want to do that right yet, because I don't think the camera is going to pick that up, because I think I'm a little off camera right there. Yeah, you don't see that corner. Okay, so we have our grassy area in there, and we have our barn and our poor little excuse for a road. But now we're going to do some fun stuff. We're going to take our big palette knife and just some brown. I want to make a big tree over here in this area here because we got more room than this area over here. So that one's probably going to get covered up, but that's okay. We know he's there, right? Of course we do. All right, we're going to put a big tree, and for this we're just going to pull straight down with your knife to wherever you want that tree to stop. Like that. Take a little bit of that paint off with you. And then we're going to add the other side of his trunk. He's going to have a pretty good sized trunk here. I did this one I did these kind of trees. The whole painting was just nothing but trees. So, excuse my arm here just a minute. But you can do all kinds of stuff once you have a little practice and figure all this stuff out for yourself, or, once you get the hang of it. Excuse me a second again here. And you gotta have this brown in there, so when we start doing our highlights in just a minute, I'll pick up some of that color, and we're gonna start seeing, I'll show you how to put what looks like bark on your tree. And we're going to do this side now. Trees have two sides. Keep going here. All right, and just keep going till you're all the way down to where you think you need to be. Where the bottom of this tree is. You'll get there. And if you do something you don't like, we'll figure it out. Just make that really big. All right. Make the base of this tree look really big. Bigger than I thought he was going to be. Sometimes they grow on you and you don't notice it. Before long, you have nothing but a big old huge tree right there. So we'll go up just a little bit further here. And you're going to get a little smaller as you go up. As your tree, he doesn't grow as big around at the top as he does in the bottom. Right? He's shorter on one end. We're going to stop him about right there. We'll finish him out here in a minute. But yeah. All right, we're going to give him a couple of arms here. He's going to be a big one, like I said. Right over our pretty little cloud. There you go. Yeah, like I said before, we know he's back there. We made him. We didn't. As long as we learned how to do something, it's not a big deal. You cover him up. So, like this here. I'll make a little bit bigger here than he would be up here. play with him for a little while. Now then, we're gonna take I think I'll do this with a small knife, just because I get paint on me every time I do something. I swear. Now, you're just gonna take a little roll of paint over, a little bit of white paint on the end of your knife, like that, and then we're just gonna touch and pull just a little bit. It'll take off when it wants, and just tap it all the way up. So if I did that backwards, we're gonna have to do that. We're gonna do it on this side because that's where I have to do this here. I forgot which side I put my highlights on. I did that. So we're going to come from this side and put it on this side. So I'm going to do it around here. Just tap it with the white. Just tippy tap it. It'll pull off what it wants. And with that tapping, it'll start creating what'll feel like bark when this dries. Every time you tap it, you're pulling them back just a little bit of paint. And I raise it up just a little bit. It feels like bark. It starts to look a little bit like bark. Now you just take the highlights as far up as you took your tree, and just keep going just like that. Now if you find yourself you put too many highlights going this way, just go back with your dark color and cover some up, which is what I'll do here. Just do like that right there. Now you're gonna have a little bit on this arm over here. It's gonna be up here. That's where your highlight is. That's where you. And we'll go down there just a little bit here. There we go. Now, I know he doesn't look much like a tree yet. I'll cover up some of my mistakes over here. Now, to get a little bit of low lights in there, just take some burnt sienna, just a little bit up here, and we'll do the same thing. Tap it on this side though. And play with it back and forth until you think it looks good. And when you have enough highlights and lowlights, then we'll play with the branches and stuff. And we'll just keep on going. Just keep on trucking here. You want these up here to be a little darker, because that's where, if we was going to have leaves, that's where they would be. This one I think is going to be just an old dead tree. If I put too many leaves and stuff on it, it's going to cover up all our fun stuff. All of our barn and stuff. That's what I was trying to say. Oh, man, I can't even talk today. So, we're going to stop right there with the highlights and stuff. And we're going to take our little script liner brush, dip in Van Dyke brown with some paint there, and we're going to stretch him out just a little bit to where he comes to a bit of a point, because he doesn't look right if he's just standing there. Him too. We're going to keep going up with him just a little bit. Maybe he got broke off here. He's going to be a dead tree. Maybe he just got a broke dead tree here. So if he's broke, he's going to be taller on one side than another, right? that. Now, you say he's a dead tree, but he'll still have some limbs on him. So we'll just give him a few. Like that. He's gonna go all over the place here. You just put your dead old limbs wherever you think they should be. And then just remember, they go both ways. Not just one way. If you got some over here, they're gonna be a little bigger. There we go. Just like that right there. And I'll put some over here. Go over that way. And this is just Van Dyke Brown with some thinner on it. And you're just gonna and you're just gonna put as many of these as you want. And maybe you got one that comes up right here, goes over across like that. Big old dead limb here. And it goes up like that. Like that, and over here like that. And then we just strengthen his right here across there. And right there. Now his main trunk, I don't think I'll have too many, except maybe just a couple that goes through here. Like that. Like so. Some of these gonna be broke off. So remember, he's dead tree, so he ain't gonna have any leaves on him. You don't want to make yours a dead tree, keep extending him up. And put leaves on him. I'll put one more that goes over here like this. And like here like that. And over here like that. I think for now, we're gonna just say he's pretty good for right at the moment. Okay. That was a little longer than I wanted to do. We're not done with him yet. We're going to finish him up on the last episode of this one. But that's how you can make a dead old tree. We'll pretty him up on the bottom here and see what we can do with his, what else we got here. So for now, I'm going to sign off and I will see you next time, which will be shortly.